We are live. I'm so excited to be here with our rock star student, Haelie. So,
Awesome.
Haelie is one of our amazing nurses inside of our Elite Nurse to Coach Academy,
Yeah,
and she's doing incredible with her coaching business. So, Haelie, we're so excited to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
it's great to be here. I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Heather, for having me.
Absolutely. We're excited to hear more about you and your story. We'd love to start out by hearing a little background on you. Can you tell us about you and the type of coaching that you're doing?
Yeah, so background on me, I am a nurse. So that's what kind of drew me to your academy initially, is because it's a nurse to coach academy, elite nurse to coach academy. So I was definitely drawn in by that. And I've been a nurse, an RN, for 23 years in May, so quite a while. And I've done a lot of things in that time as a nurse and also just in life. So I'm almost 50 years old. So there's been a lot of life there too. And I've been a mom for almost 20 years in August. And another thing I've done a long time is homeschooling. So we moved to the Middle East in my our oldest son's fourth grade year. Basically, is when we started. We lived in the Middle East for 2 years, and so that we had to homeschool over there. So I started that process there, and we had a baby before we moved there. Had another baby while we were there. So now we have three children that are now 19, 10, and 8. And those younger two have been homeschooled their whole lives. And even with some sacrifices made along the way, it's been worth it tremendously. Graduated the 19-year-old from homeschool last year. He does still live at home with us and he works. He's taking a gap year right now, but he's doing really well. So those are some of the things I've done. I've also published 2 books. I even have them right here. Um,
Awesome.
so yeah, and one of them. So my coaching focuses around stepping out in faith over fear, because we're always going to have fear. But I literally wrote the book on faith over fear in a way, because that's actually part of the title of one of my books. And I do use my books in my coaching program, so you get to have those as part of your being coached by me.
That's amazing. So awesome. All of your experience, your background. I love it. So when we first started working together, I'd love to hear and have you share more about kind of where you were at and where you wanted to go.
Yeah. When I first started with you, actually, so I was drawn in, of course, by the nurse to coach idea. I've thought about coaching before, and I, for whatever reason, didn't think that was something to for me as an official business. And if I ever did do it, I kind of thought I was going to do health coaching, which a lot of the people in your academy do that and do very well with it, and I love it. I really got into gut health, and I do love gut health. I always thought that would be what I would do, but as time goes on, I really believe it was providential that I saw the all of the academy information when I did, because, like I said, I wasn't necessarily looking for that, but I think it was God tapping me on the shoulder saying, "You really do need to think about this," because I have coached a lot of people in 50 years, in 23 years in nursing. I've coached people into through job processes. Not only have I hired people myself, but I've also helped people get better jobs, other jobs that suited them better. And whether it was in nursing or not, I've also helped a lot of people just in homeschooling. I've had so many people come to me about how to homeschool, and I've even helped a person in India launch a huge collective homeschooling program over there from Zoom. And so I've been able to do a lot of different things to help a lot of people. And now it just makes sense. It's like come to full fruition. But I didn't really, I knew some things about business things. I know some social media things. I've got a big online presence already. But I didn't know the nuts and bolts of running and starting an actual business of my own like this until the academy. And I knew I needed that kind of help for sure.
I love that. Yeah, it's so cool how you've been able to draw in coaching with everything else that you do. And so incredible your experience with homeschooling and career coaching and everything that you do, faith over fear. And I know that like you're really strong in your faith too, and that shines through in what you do, which is so powerful. And we'd love to hear what you've accomplished so far during our work together in the academy.
Yeah. So I have, and all of this also while I am a night nurse, basically full time PRN, but I'm working my way down to to work less. But I do work a lot, and they need a lot of help at times, so I'm able to help when I can. pediatric intensive care unit downtown San Antonio in Christus Children's Hospital, but also working on my master's degree in nursing informatics after 23 years of not working on that. And then homeschooling alongside all of that, and just doing life. So with that said, I have launched the business officially. I've had clients, official clients. Like I said, I've coached many people, but now it's an official program. I've built a program, which was really neat to do, and I'm still tweaking that as I go. I always will be, because just like learning is a lifelong thing, so is your program building and tweaking as you grow and learn new things, or just want to share things a different way. So, but it's been really neat and exciting to walk through building the program, launching the business, the nuts and bolts, even the legalities that I wouldn't have known about before. I've been able to get help with your team on that. And so I've actually been able to help a couple of clients where one of them went back to school after a long time of not having a job at all. And she's in a school program now, working her way toward finishing that, and so she can get a job in that field. I've helped another one that needed to get a job or a job outside the home. And so she did that whole interview process. I helped her through all of that and picking jobs and feeling strong about herself and the fact that she's interviewing them as much as they're interviewing her, and helped her, find a good job and get going in it, and even transition into it. Like after she's already started in the job, helping her get used to being the new person. And then I've also helped a fellow nurse who wanted to change nursing fields, didn't know what to do. I've been in a lot of nursing fields. I've worked with a lot of people in different fields. I was able to help him get a job he is so excited about, so happy with, and making good money in, and happy to go to work. So I've done that. And then even help somebody that's from overseas who's been living here for several years, but in a really busy part of Texas, state city, Austin, and afraid to drive in the United States. And so I know how that is, because I lived in the Middle East and I had to learn to drive there, and that was terrifying, just absolutely terrifying. So I understand that feeling, and I've been able to help her get over that fear and step out in faith over fear and get more and more comfortable with driving, so that she can be more successful in her life there and do more things she wants to do, have more freedom. And I'm even really excited about coaching my own 19-year-old son, who is now moving into adulthood and still living at home, thankfully, but just able to, both for myself and my husband, to see more of what's inside of him, what's ticking and what's holding him back and making him afraid of, different things to step out in life, but also being able to help him have tools that I wish I had at that age, that I've learned in all these years. And yes, I homeschool. He said, "Mom, you've been teaching me all these years. What are you going to do for me with coaching?" And I said, "But you don't have the adult tools that I've learned and haven't taught you yet. And so I'm teaching you that now too." So
that's incredible. Such an incredible reach that you have, being able to help so many people with so many different things. And you created such a phenomenal program, and you're doing such fulfilling, rewarding work. It's just incredible to see everything that you're working on, Haelie. I love that. And we would love to hear, what has been your favorite part of being a part of our academy?
The support that we have, both from you and your team that are, on your staff, but also from our fellow cohorts of mostly nurses, some not, but still we just all understand each other well, and where we are at different levels in our business launching, as well as in life and working as nurses and previous work. Both, a lot of us are actually still working, and so understanding that as well. And then just all the resources that you have so many great, I'm now at the point where I'm in the mastermind section of the program, and so there's just resources from the previous part of the program before the mastermind, as well as in the mastermind itself, the portal and all of our calls and such, and then all the recordings and the PDFs and the people that you're able to connect us with and have as resources, from legal team people, lawyers who actually know this field, and then people who do the branding and graphic design and Canva and things like that. And then, sales, all the different types of people that are able to help pour into us and support us and answer questions when we're actually, reaching those spots where we're just not sure where to go.
I love it. Yeah, the support is phenomenal inside of our academy, for sure. Being able to learn from so many different experts and all the resources, extensive curriculum. So I love that.
Yeah.
And we would love to hear how you feel now compared to before we started working together.
Yeah, definitely. I feel more prepared as a business person, more business minded. I'm still, working to find my good rhythm on business and life and work that's outside of this business and things like that, and school, all the things. But it's working, and with lots of support and encouragement from our elite family, has been great. But yes, I definitely, there are so many things that I just had no clue about before, and I knew I didn't have any clue about, which is why I knew it would be worth the investment to participate in the academy. So
I love that. So amazing. We'd love to hear what you're proud of yourself for accomplishing.
I am proud of helping others to step out in faith over fear and move from what I say, like my program itself is called From Doubt to Decision, and from confusion to clarity. Because that's so often where we are. We're stuck in, I'm doubting things, I'm confused, I don't know what to do, I'm afraid. There's this big thing coming in my life. You heard the Middle East thing. There's so many other things alongside that too, beyond just the Middle East stuff. But it's been full of big decisions that have come up and big moves and big changes that a lot of times we didn't really have a choice about. We're not military, and we didn't have that kind of support with either financially or physically. So we've had to do a lot of things with children along the way as well. And you just kind of, there's times when you just kind of have to do it. And sometimes you just really want to, but you're still afraid. You want to take the big step. And so I'm just really proud of helping people do that, like the ones I just described to you at the beginning of the call. I really am excited that I'm able to offer something structured to help them. And we do a lot of flexibility along with the structure.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Helping people go from doubt to decision. So powerful, the work that you do. And we would love to hear more about your program. Can you tell us more about your coaching?
Yeah. So kind of like I said, Decide Today to Live is my brand name that God gave me that years and years ago, on Twitter of all things, which is now X. I'm still there. I'm not super active there, but I'm there. And so it's actually Decide Today there. And then not long after that, I started my Instagram years and years ago. I now have over 11,000 Instagram followers, but back then I did not. And I made it Decide Today to Live when I went on Instagram. So that's still what I am there. I've actually had someone reach out to me at one point who was following me from Prague and said she saw my name, Decide Today to Live, and she chose not to take some pills that she was going to take to try to commit suicide. So it's always a reminder to me of people are watching, and it's a big responsibility, but also a blessing to be able to help people, even with something as simple as my name and my brand. So that's why I've chosen to keep that as my official, and I've always wanted to make it an official business, and so now it is. So pretty exciting. So with that, like I said, I help people, all kinds of people, and I know you'll probably be asking this, but the types of people I help are, just as I said, anybody that's in a stuck place or facing something big and scary or exciting, but still like, oh, I can't do this, to step out in faith over fear and trust God to help them. If you're not a Christian, I don't force it down your throat, but at the same time, if you are, I help encourage that. But also other things I help people with are career, as I said, and I help them whether it's transitioning from like in nursing, field of nursing to another field of nursing. A lot of nurses don't realize they can move around and try different things. It's been such a blessing in my life. I've done ICU nursing, adult, children. I've done COVID travel ICU nursing. I've done home health adult nursing. I've done case management, informatics. I'm getting my master's in informatics. I've written medical things, PRN for a company online, a really, really big company, EBSCOs and all. So I've done a lot of things, and I can help people discover what is good for them, not just in nursing. I've helped people outside of that as well. And another big thing I've helped a lot of people with that my program does help people with is homeschooling. There's a lot of people that need help either deciding to homeschool or not, but also when deciding to homeschool, what to do about that, how to do that, how to go about it. But also there's people that have been homeschooling, but they don't feel like they're maybe doing it right or successfully. They need encouragement, they need guidance, practical tips on things. So I do that as well. That's part of my program.
Amazing. Yeah, you have such a wealth of knowledge and such a breadth of experience to share. So thank you so much. And I'm so proud of everything that you're doing, Haelie. It's been so incredible to watch you grow seeing all the progress that you're making, even when you're so busy. You're in school, you're homeschooling, you work, like you've got a lot of things going on. And so it's just been awesome to have you as part of our academy. Your cheerfulness, your positivity, like the way that you encourage others, the way that you just consistently show up for yourself and for others and just continue to grow and build. Like it just shows your work ethic, your perseverance, your resiliency, and what a blessing it is for, people to be able to work with you and be able to have their lives changed in the work that you do with them. So congratulations on everything that you're doing.
Thank you. Resilience is my word for the year.
I love that. That's amazing. And we'd love to hear, what do you love most about online coaching?
I do love that I can actually meet people where they are literally and where I am, and we don't have to meet up at the same place. And if they happen to be local, that would be awesome. But a lot of times that's even hard for locals to be able to work it out. I get that. And so it's nice I've even helped somebody who didn't have transportation and literally had to be at home. And so that wasn't a problem because we can get online and it works. So I love that, the fact that it's just anytime, anywhere, whatever the need is, and just kind of squeeze it into each of our schedules the best we can and really get to do things that otherwise couldn't happen.
Yeah, that flexibility is amazing and the reach is incredible. We'd love to hear, where do you see your business going from here? What is your vision for the future?
Yeah, so I definitely want to keep growing my business. I know I will, especially with all that I'm learning in your academy as I go. And so, I mean, financially, I would love to see a 6-figure year coming up this year, next year. And that not just for the financial reasons, although that's obviously I want to be able to help my family and be home with my family more and less outside the home so that I can both contribute to my family, but also at the same time helping a lot of other people. And so with that income would show that I've been helping that many people in their lives as well, in their careers or their home lives, whatever it might be.
I love it. And where can people reach out to you and get in touch with you?
Yeah, and one other thing I want to do, I'm one-to-one coaching right now. I do love the one-to-one coaching aspect. I feel like, especially for the homeschool part of my coaching business, I feel like that could become a good group coaching where people can also help each other, a community aspect. So I see that down the line at some point, especially with the homeschooling. As far as reaching out for me and where I'm available, where you can find me, where you can follow me and get me, on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I told you about that. I am on X, like I said, Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active lately on LinkedIn as well, not looking for a job, just out there mingling with people like myself. And then I'm also even on YouTube. So I have a channel there called Decide Today to Live. Most of these places you can finally find me by my name. It's either Haelie Hurd or on Facebook, Haelie Pellegrin Hurd, which is my maiden name. On Instagram, I am Decide Today to Live. On X, I'm Decide Today. And I have a Facebook group, and I'm on TikTok, but I don't do anything there. I'm just kind of there just to see people, and I just got on there. So, but I do have a big Facebook group. Well, this one's growing. I have a huge Facebook group for my Bible study, Write the Word with Haelie. But my Facebook group for my coaching program and my community there is called Life Transition to Transformation, Decide Today to Live. So that's my concept, is that you're not just going through a life transition, you're literally going to have a good transformation when you work with me. So that's a good place to reach me. Facebook Messenger is a great place to reach me. Instagram messages is a great place to reach me. LinkedIn as well, you can get me there. Emails, I have them, but make sure and message me somewhere else and tell me you sent me an email. So, because I got a lot of those.
Perfect. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here today, Haelie. We loved hearing about your story and everything that you're doing. Congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you so much, Heather. It's been great.
Yes, you're so welcome. Well, take care. See you later.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.